the favor of the Weavers, 20-4 in this game. Sarangani is led by Junji Halyari with 6. Katakutan and Jimenez have 3 apiece, while Destacamento with 2 points. On the other side, it's been spread out evenly para dito sa Abra. Ildefonso has 8, Austria with 7, Taiwan and David each with 6. Those are 3 of the 4 starters, by the way, on that leading scorer list for the Abra Weavers. David trying to begin the second half with another 3-point shot. Instead, Sarangani gets possession. Jimenez tried a wild one. Gozum could not follow it up with a shot of his own.
Well, kid saying he got pushed as he was airborne, but referees don't call that.
Ildefonso makes the move against Gozum. Pulls up, no good. Alves able to get it to Jimenez. Gozum. Sidestep. The score para kay Martin Gozum.
Oh, Sarangani playing with a lot of pace now.
Taiwan. Nagmadali doon. Uduba gets the offensive rebound. Lots of contact. No whistle blown. Sarangani trying to push, but Abra quick to get back defensively. Destacamento attacking Raven Gonzalez. Brave move to the basket there para kay King.
Well, nagulat rin si King kasi pagka-face up niya, libre yung side niya. So he went to that side of the floor.
This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
No, napakahalaga para dito sa Sarangani that they set the tone early in this third quarter if they want to come back. Very manageable rin naman yung deficit nila. Really just a matter of effort on their end as well. Score and then get a stop.
It's no secret that for them to try and make a game out of this, they have to be the aggressors here early on.
At saka pigilan na yung bola, mataas pa lang. Lalo na on you know, live turnovers. See Coach Louie right there. They're gonna be up next.
Coach Louie Gonzalez and the rest of the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys will be facing the Zamboanga Sikat, who are at number 2 in the Southern Division as of the moment, trying to extend their winning run, trying to get win number 9 and get themselves closer to the Quezon Huskers in the South.
Gusto ko yung unis nila. Ang ganda.
Ganda nga yun,
diba? Ganda ng mga unis ng mga coaches ngayon.
Siyempre, coach, kasi pareho tayo. LGR din yun.
LGR din ba yun? Ganda.
Ildefonso is at the line. First free throw is good. Free throw shooting for Abra hasn't been as well in this game. Only 10 out of 22. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Kita mo na nga yan.
Oo.
Same with the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys. Let's go courtside to Miss Naira Ponsalan.
Tila malaking tanong for Coach Jay kung bakit pinapatira na raw ang mga Gripper pero ayaw pa rin umatake. He sees fear against the Weavers as a major challenge para sa mga players niya at medyo galit at frustrated na nga siya because they are really aiming for consistent wins. He pushes them to go harder more than ever, putting emphasis on Kit Jimenez with his rusty play and Oren Katakutan to regain his focus back. Kailangan natin magtuloy-tuloy kaya gumalaw kayo. He said, back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Talagang kailangan na talaga nila gumalaw. It's now or never para sa kanila as David Ildefonso trying to continue his impressive scoring in this game with another bucket off the glass. He has 11 so far, 3 rebounds and a couple of dimes. Destacamento stopped in his tracks by the defense of John Aduba. Jimenez hindi makawala kay Marvin Taiwan pero tatawagan ng personal foul itong si Marvin Taiwan.
Actually, kanina, before the game, I got to talk to Coach John Calya to see this move right here. Little stop and fake. Pretty much David Ildefonso moves right there. Kanina, nakita na natin yan. No?
Napaka-stable tsaka strong nung core niya. No?
Oo.
Jimenez from way downtown. He hasn't been able to connect on a 3-point shot after making one in the opening quarter. He's missed his last 3 attempts. Ildefonso could not get inside. Taiwan will try himself. Marwin will once again go to the free throw line.
Either of those two guys that handled that ball recently para sa Abra Weavers can finish. David Ildefonso and Marvin Taiwan without a doubt. Nandiyan pa si CJ Austria, Joshua David. There's so many guards.
the list of offensive weapons for these Abra Weavers is just so impressive. You see here Taiwan, who has been very consistent. Coach, you have to be very happy for him. He is now the main point guard on a very loaded squad. After spending his time in San Juan being the main backup to Orlan Momar, ngayon siya ang starting point guard nitong Abra Weavers.
Yeah, on a very formidable team. And so that should help build his confidence. And again, he's part of those young guys that you expect to grow into maturity, being into a very strong team and player of contender.
There's a foul against John Oduba as Kit Jimenez tried to connect with Coy Alves on the two-man game. Coach Yong Garcia still closely monitoring his team's progress from the sidelines. Almost 3 minutes gone by here in quarter number 3. Gozum missed everything there. David walking it up para dito sa Abra. Rejects the screen. Jimenez was able to deflect the pass. Gozum outside. Caliano. Does it settle for the three-pointer? Off the glass, no good para kay Charles Caliano. That's been the story para sa Sarangani in this game. At susubukan ulit ng Abra na makapuntos dito. Could have been another fast break point para sa kanila. A stop for Sarangani. Jimenez gives it up. Destacamento has no options. Gets it to the corner. Jimenez missing again. And this is the rusty play that Coach John Calios said in Lyra's report that Kit has to overcome, and he has to overcome it quickly, Coach. As quickly as possible. Because on the other side, David Defonso is not gonna stop trying to terrorize these Sarangani players inside the shaded area. As you take a look at our kickster, great move of the game, born for greatness. This guy has greatness written all over him. It's on the back of his jersey, but he is proving that he is more than just his father's son.
Agree. Tsaka makikita mo yung yung contribution niya dito sa Weavers, and that comparison with Kit. Really parang nagbi-build up pa lang si Kit no, samantalang way ahead ang progress na nito ni Dave Ildefonso. So if you want to catch up, you gotta calibrate real quick.
Coy Alves just fouled out. And we still have 6 minutes and 33 seconds in this third quarter.
Well, that's another big guy that they're gonna lose. Good thing they still have Bringas.
There was a technical called against Sarangani, and I'm pretty sure it was against Coy Alves. That's why he picked up his 5th. Vehemently trying to contest the last foul against him. Jimenez will take a seat. Aliane will come back inside. Coach John Calios having a word with referee Edmar Avis. Jimenez has greatly struggled in this game, Coach. 1 out of 7 from the field. And most of those have been bad looks from the outside. There's going to be a timeout taken here by Coach John. 30 na ang hinahabol nila dito.
This to fire up the team even some more.
Could be. Some coaches certainly have that ploy in their bags, particularly Coach Yeng Giao, one of the more prominent coaches who pull off that kind of feat in a game. This is still a long way to go para dito sa Sarangani if they're gonna make a game out of this.
And so habang si Coach John Calios livid, picture of serenity on Coach Yong Garcia. Kita mo talagang very peaceful.
In his stead, assistant coaches Gilbert Cole and assistant coach Josh Inocentes will try to man the sideline and guide Sarangani out of this deep hole that they are in. But Destacamento could not finish on that reverse. And those kinds of shot, Coach, just practically characterize how much Sarangani has struggled to put up points on the board. Precisely what we were talking about earlier when you had that conversation with Coach John.
Yeah, pretty much. When you're missing very makeable shots, then you know it's a tough game that you're gonna be into. And so unless the numbers start getting better, you know, there's very low chance that you're gonna be scoring, let alone a very defensive team that you're going up against.
RV Bringas just picked up his 4th personal foul. A lot of players for Sarangani already in foul trouble. If you just tuned in, Koy Alves just fouled out earlier. This free throw of the game brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Raven Gonzalez goes 1 out of 2 from the charity stripe. They are up by 34 points.
No player in Sarangani has scored more than 6 points. That's been pretty much how tough it is to go up against the Weavers. You got a number of with 3 points, but the rest, you know, really just been tough putting that ball in the hole.
Murillo finds his way to the cup. A rare missed coverage para sa Abra inside the shaded area. But other than that, Coach, in maybe some other instances during this game, Abra has been locked in for the most part. Usually when you have a team that's already up by this much, they put their foot off the gas pedal, magre-relax ng konti. But you don't see that from these Abra Weavers.
Right. Kasi ang Abra, you know, they don't care who they're up against. I mean, talagang same lang, execute lang, kung ano man yung pressure na meron tayo, the force that we use on it, the aggressiveness, it's always going to be the same. And so it almost feels like they want to be a machine by the time that the games would really matter most later in the season, that everything becomes automatic and it's second nature already to these guys and this team.
Well, I think they already are looking like a well-oiled machine at this point of the season. But as Enrico Garcia joins in on the scoring party, I'm sure that's something that the Weavers would love to celebrate. A lot of, not a big picture of celebration from the bench. Alam mong tinatry nilang i-keep in yung kanilang mga emotions, but you see some smiles from that Abra bench after that Garcia 3.
Yeah, and I tell you, you know, there's never that sense of accomplishment and complacency on the coaching staff of the Abra Weavers. Very similarly to the other top teams as well. You understand, you know, you're still mid-season. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. That is Enrico Joaquin Garcia knocking down his first basket in this game, averaging 4 points per contest for the Abra Weavers this season. Destacamento is at the free throw line. Kings so far with 4 points in this game, 3 rebounds. But he has had to deal with a plethora of talented, rugged, and physical big men on this Abra Weavers squad.
It's the physicality actually dun siya nahihirapan because, you know, very light frame itong si King Destacamento eh. So for him to contend inside, aabangan mo na lang talaga yung tira sa taas where he's got that, you know, leap and height advantage.
Well, this big lead enables Abra some chances to try and attempt some shots from the outside. Pag-usapan na natin kanina how they haven't been able to really connect a lot from downtown, that it hasn't been a focus kind of their offense.
Right.
So maybe in these kinds of situations, pwede silang sumubok.
Oo. Yun mga importante eh. You get to experiment on different things. And important is it's within the flow. Oh, Marquis. Wow.
How many times have we seen that coming from the MPBL's living legend? Still at this age, so locked in, and you could even argue still in better shape compared to some younger players that we have here in the league.
Oh, tsaka taas ng shooting percentage niya, roughly 47-48% from the field and 83% from the free throw. So you know that the very few times that he's taken shots, for the most part, really made them.
Sunga fakes out Batino, and Lars Sunga getting a rare three-point play opportunity for Sarangani. There is Koy Alves. He's already found out he will not have any more to do in this game for the Gripper. That's a pity. And also, if you just tuned in, Coach John Calios has been ejected. Maybe he might try to light a fire from underneath his players with that kind of move. But so far, Sarangani is still down by a huge margin.
And then surely that's the hope. You have a lot of veteran players right there sitting on the bench and even on the floor para dito kay Coach John Calios.
Yeah, this team is certainly no pushover talking about Sarangani.
Agree.
But Abra has just been on a different kind of level, especially in this 6-game winning streak that they are in. They run another play here for Garcia, who takes advantage with another 3-point shot.
Yeah. They love to run that double cutter on the against the zone. One fills the wing and one fills the corner.
Actually kind of reminisced with that play call. That's something that we used to have against zones when we were in high school. Playing under Coach Mike Oliver. 2 cutters ang tawag namin dyan. Austria will go hard to the rack. That's with his offhand. CJ Austria is a left-handed player, but very ambidextrous when he's finishing at the basket.
Well, what you're more concerned about is that there was no defense played by Sarangani in that layup by the Weavers earlier.
Austria would like to take more time here for Abra. Serrano gets that ball tapped from behind. Sunga will push it, and that's a foul given up by Marquis to stop the fast break.
Nakita mo sa bench ng Abra Weavers, they've been egging their teammates to take the 3 already.
This is our assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Kung gusto mo doon sa move na yun ni Marquis, ang ikot niya, papunta ka agad doon sa kabilang side. Looking to swing it over and reverse that ball the other side. But once he turned and he saw that defense was not set up right in front of him at medyo nakas-drop coverage ng konti si King, titirahan na niya yun.
We'd like to give a shout out to our friend, Madam Photographer Luisa Nicolsi, who's watching this game. Actually, baka nga makita natin siya mamaya dito eh.
Alam mo, feeling ko gumagawa na naman ng video yan eh.
Oo nga,
diba,
she's had a lot of video content lately.
Tsaka nagko-commentate rin siya eh.
Doon sa kanyang mga videos.
Mga videos, diba? She tries to call on the games as well on her own time.
Well, Garcia has had quite a quarter here for the Abra Weavers to the Sarangani, who is trying to deal with the loss of their head coach John Calios, who was just ejected in the 3rd quarter, early here in the 3rd quarter. They face Batangas, Manila, and Cebu in their next 3 games this season. Coach Louis Gonzalez and the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys will be going up in a very exciting matchup against the Zamboanga Sikat. One part of this game that we have yet to see, especially Abra has dominated from start until this point.
Yeah, agree. And pretty much little to no resistance, except for that little run at the start of the 3rd quarter para dito sa Gripper. Pero after that, you know, it's all been back to how they started the game.
Lars Sunga went to college in Arellano University, played in the NCAA, made his way to the MPBL. He has been one of the go-to guys for this new look Sarangani squad this season. We're used to seeing Sarangani in the past few years being a team that likes to play with a lot of pace, a team that likes to attempt a lot of 3-point shots, a team that really usually scores a lot in every game. Kind of like the Phoenix Suns of Coach Mike D'Antoni back then.
Correct. And they like to take shots very early in the shot clock. And for the most part, it's really been threes kung unang available. And one of the reasons that they do that is because in the previous season, they had Brian Sowat, who was pretty good from that spot.
Ekitimenes as well was with them in that season of pace and space, as they like to call it. This year has been different para sa kanila, different pieces coming in. Some new guys still staying, but it's very different from the previous Sarangani squads of past. And this guy has certainly had a big hand in changing the makeup of this squad and how they attack offensively.
Yeah. Tsaka itong Sarangani, you look at the players, you get one or two of them, put them in a very strong team. You know, they are going to be very good support team members for any team that picks them up. Scoring and guardia, forwards, guys can do it, just like what we saw from Diputado.
Diputado has been a great role player ever since I saw him play. Kabatch ko ito eh. I played for the NU Bulldogs and he was part of the national team with the RP Youth Squad in high school.
Nung nasa Beda siya.
Oo.
Oo.
Laging very solid ang pinapakita. Steady lang parati.
Oo. I'm not sure if inabot nila sila Arvin Tolentino ba? Noon
Yes.
Magkakasabay, ano?
Magkakasabay sila.
That was the batch of Beda na hirap na hirap kami. Makalaban kasi Beda Alabang
Coach,
kami.
huwag kayo mag-alala. Kami rin naman.
Oo nga, halos lahat naman. Fair enough.
Ay, buti nga kasi ilang beses lang namin sila nakalaban buong time ko nung high school eh. Pero each time we did, my goodness, karami kami parate. I mean, we were already one of the stronger teams in the UAP that time. But San Beda, I don't even think that they lost any game that entire high school stint of Arvin Tolentino's batch.
Sila Utoy Abarcar nandun din, no? That time? Or was he
Ahead na si Utoy.
Ahead na siya.
Arvin was with... Si Axel Inigo na transfer pa kasi sa kanila eh, from Perpetual.
Tama, kayo nga nila Hubert Cani magkakasama.
Yes. Which even bolstered their backcourt even more. Not like it was already strong enough.
Oh, wow.
Alfred Batino getting 2 points there, beating the shot clock buzzer. Diputado hit a 3-point shot earlier. 5 seconds on the third quarter clock. Diputado, step to the left, jumper that might have been blocked by Batino. And that's gonna do it. Quarter number 3 in the books between Sarangani and Abra. It has been no different here in quarter number 3. 2 words, total domination by the Abra Weavers as we take a look at the highlights of the game. Brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
And this is another high-scoring quarter here, a high of a 28-point quarter para dito sa Abra Weavers. Samantalang nag-struggle naman with 19 points. Ang Sarangani a little bit better compared to their first 2 quarters, but go back by default to the lack of effort defensively. You're gonna...
Per game this year, Abra Weavers. We'll see how much more Abra can pad on to this advantage or can Sarangani.
Always a good-sized crowd whenever we have games here, no? Sa Paco Arena.
It doesn't matter kung home game ng Manila or neutral grounds lang. Maganda parati ang reception ng mga tao ng Paco dito sa atin.
It just shows you the kind of love that they have for basketball.
Indeed. You see the quarter scoring in this game. Look how Abra has really dominated on both sides of the basketball.
Kitang-kita naman talaga yun. And if not, I guess if not for that strong start at the third quarter para dito sa Sarangani, they would still have produced roughly about 10, 11 points in the third. But you gotta build on that.
Will Lee, Redel Fabro, Jorel Gonzalez, Yusuf Taha, as well as Harley Baldo. They are the 5 on the floor to begin the fourth quarter para sa Abra Weavers. Al Sarangani, on the other hand, has Orin Katakutan, Rev Diputado, RV Bringas, Lars Sunga, and Martin Gozum. We still continue to see Coach Yung Garcia coaching hard from that Abra sideline.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You don't stop coaching until you hear the final buzzer, regardless whether you're up or you're trailing. That really is just how a coach should be.
Many people will say, Coach, that bakit di nyo na lang hayaan yung isang team na makabalik ng konti. Marami magsasabi na maawa naman kayo ng konti, ganyan. Now, talk to us about the coach's perspective on that. Why do you not stop your team from trying to play hard until the final buzzer?
Well, because your effort really dictates how the outcome would be, either for the game or the season. You know, you cannot fall into complacency. Matter of fact, some coaches would tell their guys, the players, you know, don't even look at the scoreboard. Just keep executing. If we do right, then we go back at the next play and worry about the next play, and let's not celebrate too much of whatever good it is that we executed. So it's very important that to remain on the process than the score, so that later on when the big games come, it's always going to be automatic na and second nature to them.
Martin Gozom able to connect from the outside despite the outstretched arms of Jorel Gonzalez. Ngayon naman, we have Oren Katakutan taking some free throws. It has been a struggle of a debut game para kay dito sa laro na to. We were expecting him to try and match up well with Dave Ildefonso, but obviously Dave has had the upper hand together with the entire ABRA Weavers squad, been able to suffocate and prevent players getting on an offensive rhythm in this game.
And no changes at all on the look of Coach Yong Garcia. Hanggang ngayon, he's still, shouting out instructions. He was not happy on how things have been in some instances.
Diputado against Baldo. Bringas. Yes.
Namin matalo. Mismo, just that willing intent to win. Oh, good.
The Sarangani squad, Katakutan, will try for a fade away. That's no good.
Needless to say, this is kind of like I'm still in the hibernate, but he's got to work his way back to who he was.
78-49. Remember, guys, this is just the first game of our Friday triple header. Wag po kayo madidismaya because up next is going to be a very exciting matchup. The Ilagan Isabela Cowboys will be facing the number 2 squad in the south currently, the Zamboanga Sikat. That's right after this game between Sarangani and ABRA. And in our main game, it's going to be a battle of teams. At the bottom of the team standings, Quezon City and Manila should be a high-paced, high-octane game.
Yeah, agree. And that game is going to be very interesting. And ito, nakita mo, na-foul si Will Lee. Pero si Coach Yong talagang tinuturuan pa rin niya kung paano dapat ang maging reaction mo once you get to that particular spot on the floor. And he's letting these guys experience it on the floor, and so that come perform time, alam na nila, they get a feel of that situation.
Lee, he's the one orchestrating here. Baldo gets it inside to Fabro. Diputado was being physical with him, but Rev able to draw the offensive foul laban kay Redel Fabro.
Yeah. And I feel Redel Fabro, well, twice already we've seen that aggressiveness on his end. Maybe he got an earful from Coach Yong. So that change in personality and the end, ika nga sa kanyang paglalaro.
Well, I think he just wants to really draw that same kind. He's a guy who has managed to give, as we see Will Lee get a nice pass galing kay Marwin Taiwan. Redel Fabro is a guy that can bring a lot of energy and hustle and physicality as well. He's been quote-unquote like the bad boy of the other squads that he's played for.
Oo, totoo naman yun.
Top. But you see how strong this guy is beyond, and that's our assist of the game. Brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And that cut of his from the weak side really is within the flow of the scheme of the Weavers. And he understands that. Hindi siya nagsesettle na, dito na lang ako sa labas, abangan ko na lang, siya naman ang titira. You really just gotta keep executing. And mind you, itong Weavers team na to is one of those teams that is very high when it comes to game data and stats. Be it what you see on the FIBA Live stats or some of the immeasurables that they put a number on, so that later on they get to quantify that. Like maybe hustle, box outs, these things.
Well, they have a very experienced coaching staff. Is backing up Coach Yong Garcia each and every game, each and every practice. It is no doubt that they are working for one goal and one goal only, and that is to win the championship this season. Marvin Taiwan trying to help them in that goal. 83 to 51, and we're just approaching the halfway point of this final frame.
And they've gotten their 6th 3-point make per pitch after 23 attempts, but not unusual.
Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Huwag mong palalampasin yan, mga kaliga. 1xBet, our title sponsor this season. Sarangani getting that free throw to drop galing kay Lars Sunga. Baldo will come back in para kay Marvin Taiwan. Pinatikman lang ng konti ulit ng floor time si Marvin bago ilinabas ulit. I think he was just on the floor for around 2 minutes. Fabro all the way, but it's blocked there by Destacamento. Jorel Gonzalez pulls up. Jumper is short. Top put back, wala. And I think this is a golden opportunity for these homegrowns to be able to play with a BBA veteran in Yusuf Taha, a guy like Rodel Fabro, who is also a veteran here in this league. That just really fast tracks their development as players here in the MPBL.
And there is no better measure of performance than experience. I mean, for you to be in here and playing against those guys that you mentioned, iba yung karga as you go along and play more games.
Ito si Yusuf Taha, I'm just waiting for him to really play at a different level. I know that meron pa siyang maibubuga. I think he's just had to deal with some minor injuries at the start of this season. That's why he also has been in and out of the roster.
That's right.
Jorel Gonzalez putting in a three-pointer himself. So the homegrowns para dito sa ABRA have been able to make a good account of themselves in this game. Earlier it was Enrico Garcia. Ngayon naman si Jorel Gonzalez. Willie also has had a stellar game.
And mind you, these guys, oh, what a fake.
Can he go back-to-back? Almost, not quite. Fabro is there for the offensive rebound. Nagkabuhol sila dun ni King Destacamento.
And the first guy that up on the bench to applaud the effort of the guys on the floor, guess who? Dave Ildefonso. And he's just been that kind of teammate and leader sa Abra Weavers.
You could tell from the way that he's been playing, the way that he has been responding in interviews with our courtside reporters, that he is just very happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. Totoo yun. And nararamdaman mo yun. Oh, wow.
Oh, Will Lee also so touch from the outside.
Okay.
Why look elsewhere
Yeah.
when you have Jorel Gonzalez, Enrico Garcia, all three very capable outside shooters. Well, Yusuf Taha trying to show what he can do inside. But Sarangani gets an opportunity here. That's Kit Jimenez. It has really been a long afternoon para kay Kit today. Yusuf Taha will get a walk. 6 points in the game para sa kanya. And Abra is 7 points away. Coach Mike Perez, his lineup punsalan is at courtside. Sarangani has had an incredibly long afternoon trying to score the basketball in this game. Only 19 made field goals out of 65 attempts. That's 29%. While Abra has been able to go 34 out of 77. There you see Art de la Cruz just in street clothes for their upcoming game against Zamboanga. He will not be available dahil sinabi ni Coach Louie when he had a word with us at halftime that masyado daw madiin yung pag-practice ni Art the past 2 days.
Go hard palagi yan si Art. But his numbers are MVP-like. I mean, doing Ilagan being there twice already for them to get that win against Batangas.
They have.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping to visit soon when we go back there. That Capital Arena is world class.
Yeah. Ganda ng arena na yun.
Mentioned this that we talked about Art de la Cruz. Funny because right before the season, I was talking to Coach Louie Gonzalez. Kausap kami sa telepono. And he told me that he was indeed eyeing Art de la Cruz. Kaya lang, parang hindi daw matutuloy. Laking gulat ko, nung opening, ando na si Art.
Kasi madali rin lang yung pagkaka, when they closed that acquisition of Art.
Of course, De La Cruz last year. Oh, Baldo! He too is showing what he can do here for Abra. This fourth quarter has been the domain of the homegrowns for the Weavers.
Now, at this point, I'd love to see a camera shot of Coach Yo.
Harley Baldo scoring his first basket, plus an opportunity for one more at the free throw line.
Almost everyone on the bench of the Abra Weavers either laughing or smiling with a lot of joy.
They enter the final 2 minutes of this one. This is only the second game, by the way, of Harley Baldo and Enrico Garcia. Those two guys getting a golden opportunity to prove what they can do on the floor. Si Will Lee, he's been able to play 6 games already prior to this.
One more.
Gonzalez couldn't connect. Baldo also giving Kit Jimenez a hard time in the backcourt. Destacamento floats and scores.
I think Destacamento is like a very graceful, I don't know, whatever you call it.
He's like a gazelle.
Oh, gazelle, right. Oh, man.
Wow.
Pablo getting in the act as well.
Everybody just chipping in whatever they can do para kay Coach Yong Garcia. I'm sure it's going to be very happy and joyful post-game huddle for these Abra Weavers. Everyone, almost everybody has been able to do their job and more in this game.
They want to get Taha on the board here. Oh, he got an offensive foul.
Bringas was able to draw that personal Taha. Junji Halyare.
Super Wrapping Properties.
Destacamento. This is our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Diputado has been able to connect here in the fourth para sa Sarangani, cutting the deficit to just 30.
Now, the last 6 points of Sarangani all have come from Red Lions. Diputado and Red Cub rather, and Diputado and Red Lion in itong si King Destacamento, San Beda, Alabang.
Naging player ba, Coach?
Naging player ko siya in a recreational league, but he was playing in college under Coach Aldrin Morata.
What about Harley Baldo? His confidence seemingly getting a shot on the arm after that basket and one opportunity that he had just a few possessions ago. He connects on this free throw. 4 points in the game para sa kanya. Nakahabol pa ng puntos. Previous to that and one opportunity earlier, he was scoreless. And he splits his charities. Shot clock is off, and we are now in the final 20 seconds of this one. Diputado will try to salvage some pride here for Sarangani. Kit Jimenez, it's just been that kind of afternoon para sa kanya. Even the open looks. But Halyare able to connect there. 7 seconds to go, but Coach Yong has instructed Will Lee to just dribble this one out. And the Abra Weavers will extend their winning run to 7 games, one of the hottest teams in the league and in the Northern Division. Last time they lost was March 19. That's been a long time, and I'm sure Coach Yong Garcia is very happy with the way that they have been performing, especially this afternoon. It has absolutely been blockbuster, Coach Mike.
Yeah, and surely they will try and validate those shooters from the outside that they desperately need from the Abra Weavers.
Our best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. David Defonso getting another player of the game award in this one.
Yeah, 17 points on 4 of 11 shooting. 9 of 12 from the free throw line. Got 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Just a complete
17 points in 17 minutes. How impressive is that? Let's go courtside to Mr.